Hello, it's such a beautiful afternoon. I thought it'd be fun to take you to this hill where I've been doing these repeats with the goal of reaching 100,000 meters this year, which is going to be quite daunting since I took quite a bit of time off in February and March and didn't even know I was going to have that goal. Set it when I came back. So we're on our way now. I just walked to the hill to save my energy so I can enjoy the ascent, and it's about 1,700 meters. I've gone metric on everything, so hopefully that doesn't irritate you. Okay, so we're at the base of the hill now, and each ascent can be about 7 to 10 meters depending on little shortcuts or extensions. And I've routed 7 different ways to ascend. One of them is not on this hill, it's on a driveway, and we'll do that last. That's the steepest. So I'm going to take you on each one. We're going to start with Gravel Bend. I've given them all names too to keep it interesting. Shared 7 to 10 meters, that's referring to the elevation gain, not the distance. The distance is fairly short. I can't remember what it is. I mean, I guess I could measure it and tell you, but it's quite a short hill. So, but I will I'll measure that this time and tell you. I'll take a look at that. I've just been focusing on elevation and not getting too wrapped up in how far I go, because I know if I do at least 350 meters a day between now and the end of the year on average, that I will hit that mark. So when I first started this hill, for those of you that have some goals, whether they're extremely difficult goals relative to where you are or just a gradual goal, when I first started this hill I couldn't even run up this hill, I could only walk it. So that was 2 years ago. So if you stay with it, it will get better. So this next one is called Straight Up Grass. Okay, so we're back down again at the bottom. Just measured it going up, and that last ascent was about 130 meters. So look at it, 7 to 10 meters of gain over 130 meters for that last. But like I said, each ascent has a little bit of difference relative to twists and turns and shortcuts, extensions. So this next one is called Asphalt Push, and I can only do this now because of the pandemic, because these are blind. There's a blind turn here, and up overcoming the hill is blind. So sometimes I have to move over to the grass and be careful, make sure we don't get hit. But I stay near the edge on the asphalt. But it's a nice change from the grass with less resistance. So, and this is a really good one for doing intervals. So if you want to just push really hard and then take a rest walking down, this is nice. So let's go ahead and do Asphalt Push. You can see we had to get on the grass there, or else that would have gone very badly. So you really got to watch what you're doing here. This next one is called Left Zone, and it can get gnarly. We have to be careful because we are going to be crossing mid-hill, so we've really got to watch for oncoming cars. Fortunately, like I said, with the pandemic there isn't a lot of traffic now. So let's go for it. Left Zone. can see in that it's running up the median and on the left side, and those little outcroppings of grass help as far as you're not doing repetitive motion, because you're not following the exact same stepping pattern each time. You're making sure you don't step on those little clumps of grass and scrub, right? So we're going to do that on the right side, and that's called right zone. You can see what I mean about the cars coming over the hill. So we're on the right side now. This was ridiculous the first time I tried it. Didn't even make it halfway. I like drinking water about every 2 kilometers. So definitely behind. This next one, it's called Backside. And I call it Backside. I'll show you why. I mean, normally the right thing someone would do is just run or walk up this concrete path, but I can't stand running on concrete. It's just not good for longevity in running. And so what I'll do, and I don't want to run on the grass edge next to the road, so what I'll do is I'll run on this side here, right here on this side here on the grass edge, all the way up as far as it'll go, and then I'll cross over to the grass edge that's closer to the road. Hopefully I'll be able to run it non-stop. It's quite challenging once I reach the end of it to continue. So it's called Backside. Let's go for it. So this is where it runs out. Today's a good day. I usually have to stop and walk there to the end. Alright, so this is the 7th section. While I've been running these hills up and down, a lot of people have noticed me, and a couple shared with me the other day. They said, hey, you should go run this driveway. It's right there. This house is right next to the hill, so this rental house. So I call this one Soul Crusher. It gets extremely steep, and it's concrete, which I don't like. So, but this I like the steepness and the challenge of the steepness and the gain over this short ascent. Go right to the edge, and here we go. So that's it. So those are the 7 routes that I take, and I just go through the circuit back and forth, and that's how we're gonna do it. We've been doing it. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this little video on how I've been doing this elevation gain. Enjoy your running.